What's up, everybody? It's your boy Randy Cotton from the Woke DC. Tonight, you're going to witness firsthand why I called my channel Woke. The Woke DC has everything to do with being reality aware. I'm a person that has always looked outside the box, thought outside the box. I interpret things a lot different from a lot of different people, from other people. My way of interpreting things and understanding things come from deep thought. I'm always analyzing and thinking deeper about said situations, things that's going on around me, things that's been told to me. I think deeper than what a lot of people may. I've always been told, you're thinking too much into it. You're thinking too deep into it. I'm a critical thinker. I always want to know how things work, why things are, and what is. Tonight, well, first of all, today is Friday, the 13th, December. My birthday was just on the 11th. I'm 34. The base of this video was recorded on December the 8th, 2024. But this recording is taking place Friday the 13th of December 2024. I'm going to let you guys in because this is what underlines the Woke DC. I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of me personally, no diddy. But I'm going to let you guys see firsthand of who I am. The video is going to be emotional. And for those outside looking in, you may even think I'm crazy. I'm dealing with grief. But I want you to listen to the underlining of the story. There's something to gain here. There's something to be understood. You see, I'm on YouTube to help if I can help and relate to others who can relate to me. People in my world, my real world on a normal day-to-day basis, I can't really just talk to and share how I really feel, so I decided to put it on film for all to see. See, the real world thinks I'm crazy, but I'm very much sane. I am what you call woke. In many ways than any, I'm intrigued by supernatural, spiritual. I know that there's something going on here, but I don't know what it is. I believe in the Most High, God. I believe in the one superior being. I know I didn't just manifest into this reality. There's something in control of this all, of us all. I believe in it. I call it God, the one true entity, the consciousness, the king, the creator of all creations. I also believe in dreams. I don't have dreams often. Some dreams are just that. But what I have to share with you tonight, I feel in my heart and my soul that it was more than just a dream. You see, my dad, passed away September the 11th, 2022. But taken aback, he had a really, really bad car accident back in the year 2000. We had an ice storm down here in Georgia. The roads was frozen over. He hit black ice and went off into an embankment. Flew out the windshield. The pickup truck S10 that he was driving landed on top of him. My grandmother, his mother, was absent. Well, she was there. She wasn't absent. I apologize. She was present, is what I meant. My grandmother, his mother, was present. My cousin Vincent was present. And my cousin Brooklyn was present. Everybody in the car accident, and it was a very bad car accident, survived the car accident. But my dad, the car accident left him permanently scarred. He would no longer be able to see or walk. He was paralyzed from the waist down. I was 10 years old. You see, I'm a product of divorce. Whenever I could, I wanted to spend time with my father. And whenever I did, I really enjoyed spending time with my father. I miss him dearly. It's because of that car accident 24 years ago, now, today. At the time, 22, when he passed. 22 years after that car accident, my dad passed away. You see, he was a living miracle. He was supposed to have died that night within that car accident. He stayed in ICU, critical condition. I know about 2 or 3 months in the hospital, if not longer. My dad didn't believe in caretakers like that. He went to doctor for checkups, but he didn't like going to the doctor. He doesn't like hospitals. Years later, 2022, in that year my dad started to have complications. He started to have violent shaking spells. He lived with his brother, my Uncle Brooklyn. And they started to become regulars at the Floyd Hospital in Rome, Georgia. He had, and he couldn't tell because he was paralyzed from the waist down. He had an infection growing within his body. He was paralyzed from the waist down, so this infection was growing deep within his lower back buttocks area. He couldn't feel, so he couldn't tell anybody that he was hurting or if anything was going on. By the time the family was able to get him to the hospital to check up on these spells, the infection was 22 years old and it was growing. The doctors did what they could. They cut a major chunk out of his right buttocks, left a major hole. But like throwing water on a grease fire, that air hit that infection and it just spread everywhere. My dad only had, but at this time, a few days to live. He didn't want to be hooked up to any machines. So it was my call, despite what anybody else said. It was my call whether I was going to keep him hooked up to the ventilators or not. I watched this man suffer for years. And his main wish, his only wish, was not to be left on the machines. I could have left him on the machines. I don't know how much longer he would have lived by being on the machine, but eventually he would have succumbed to his sickness. I didn't even know what day it was when I had to make this decision. I wasn't paying attention. All I was worried about was my dad. I remember my uncle saying, "Randy, you have to make a decision. You have to say something." Couldn't speak. I was just paralyzed. Fear, misunderstanding. I didn't know what was going on. I knew what was going on, but I didn't know what was going on. I had to make a decision. And if my dad said he didn't want to be on a ventilator, and if it's his time to go, it's his time to go. I had to honor that. So the next day, we made preparations. Got people together because it was accelerated. He was very sick. We took him off the ventilator, the machines, September the 11th, 2023, or 2022. I apologize. He fought. He fought to breathe. He fought to live. But there's nothing you can do when God says it's time to come home. I think he may have fought a little over 20 minutes. Just to give you a backstory, a little bit of emphasis. Tonight, I'm going to share with you a live video that I posted on my Facebook December the 8th. That night, for the very first time since I laid this man to rest, my father, was the first time I seen his face and heard his voice come out of his mouth. And what I call and what I understand it to be was a visit from my father. He came to visit me in my sleep. It's a touchy situation. And a lot of people may even think that I'm hysterical in the video because there's a lot of tears being dropped. But it's what he said to me what resonated with me. My understanding. That's the underlining portion of this video that's so intriguing. So, as the video go, I may come in from time to time and put a little emphasis on what was going on through my head at that moment. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Y'all, I'm trying to pull myself together. It's all a dream. What does that even fucking mean, Daddy? What is that? What do you mean it's all a dream? Y'all, I just cannot pull my fucking self together. I have been crying all morning since I got up out the goddamn bed. And I said got, G-O-T. And for y'all to be out here crying online and you this, that, get the fuck off my page. Please remove yourself. My dad, my late dad came and visited me last night in my sleep. That's what's going on with me. Some real shit. If you ain't lost your parent, if you got both your parents, thank God you still got both your parents. But if you ain't lost no doggone parent, then get the fuck away from me because you don't know how the fuck I feel. So pause right there. I didn't know how else to put it in the video. Because I'm crying, I'm upset. I knew that there were people out there that may make fun of how I looked, me crying online. Didn't take a moment to understand what was possibly going on. So the only way I knew how was to speak in the tone that I spoke and use the words that I spoke. Do not come over to my page making fun because this is a very serious situation that I myself was going through. And I made the video just like I'm making this video because there are a lot of people out there that's dealing with loss and death. Whether it's a parent, sister or brother, grandparent, any loved one. Everybody has to experience this. So I'm simply saying, don't make a mockery. Don't make fun of the pain that one is going through when the grieving process starts all over again and it hits them. You see, I woke up that morning, I was okay. I had cried throughout the night, but when I woke up that morning, I was okay. It was like I, just woke up from my sleep. But not even 5 minutes after me being up, awake, alert, memories started to flood my brain of the night before, the sleep that I had. So I became disoriented. I'm already halfway asleep. I'm waking up. I know I just came out of a sleep, but in this state that I'm in, it's almost not knowing because the dream was it was clear. But you know how you dream, as soon as you wake up or as soon as the dream is over with, it starts to fade away. In my dream, I couldn't let it fade away. I kept just remember this part. If you don't remember anything, remember this part. Already my dream was starting to fade away when I woke up. But the scenes that I remember was so vivid and clear. It was just a few of them. But the dream was lengthy, but I don't remember the whole dream. I just remember certain parts of the dream. And those parts, which was clear and vivid. So waking up dazed, confused, all I could think was, I'm back here in reality. It's the only thing I can think of. I'm back here in reality. So the crying comes from the emotion of not seeing my dad and haven't seen or talked to my dad, and me missing him because he's passed away. But we're finna get to the underlining of the story.
My dad came and visited me last night in my sleep. So if you can't comprehend what's going on with me, get the fuck off my page right now, because you won't be able to understand, especially you still got both your parents. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm venting right now. I'm trying to pull myself together.
Venting wasn't the correct word I wanted to use or should have used. I was grieving. I was grieving. I was grieving in the midst of trying to understand the message of the encounter. I feel like I used the word venting at that moment for the trolls that were going to come into the chat, onto the video, and start saying their stupid whatnots. So it was a slick defense mechanism to let you know, don't fuck with me. I'm talking about something serious, and I feel like others should hear about it, especially if they're struggling with death the way that I have been. And to be quite honest with you, ever since I put my dad in the ground, all I've been doing is trying to continue to go, continue to move. Because right before he passed away, I was an owner operator. I was trying to purchase my first 18-wheeler. It's a $186,000 truck. And I ended up having to walk away from the lease because for the last 3 months at that particular time, I worked and I had no money to my name. So I had to walk away from the lease. Shortly after I walked away from the lease, my dad passed. So here I am. I had a dream crumble before my eyes. On top of that, my dad fell and went home. So just remembering all of that, everything, I was in a terrible state of mind. I lost everything, which seems to have been like for the fourth or fifth time. I don't know. I mean, who's counting? I lost it. And I lost him. All in one swoop.
My late dad came and visited me last night, and my doggone sleep. It was so vivid. I've been crying all morning since I got up. I'm trying to pull myself together. He said, it's okay, son. It's all a dream. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? So, I would have to put this. I'm trying to remember my dream as it goes because I need to be able to go back and listen to it over and over because that's just something, and I have to understand something. And before it starts again, because you know you can I vaguely remember it as it is. It's like when I woke up this morning, I was screaming. I don't know why. I knew why I was screaming, but I was so upset. And I happen to remember through my tears that I seen my dad. I had a meeting with my dad last night. And there was a couple other things he said, but what really just stood out to me is when he held on to me in my 5-year-old form and I was crying and he told me, son, it's all okay. It's all okay. It's all a dream. It's just a dream. What the fuck does that mean?
I remember I was stoned. Long time ago. Some good ganja. Good weed. Stoned. I probably was a little crossfaded too. But I remember thinking, they say God reviews your life. There's going to be a review of your life during judgment, I guess. There's going to be a review of your life. It's going to show on a screen before you, and I guess before God. And there's going to be a viewing. I remember in that state of mind that I was in, stoned. I remember thinking, what if life, as we know it, reality, what if this is all a dream? And it's all being reviewed right now. But we're just living through the dream all over again. What if it's already been done, but we're living out the review, given another chance to do something differently? What if it was all a dream? What if we're already dead? Every single last one of us. And the life that you're living is actually a dream that you happen to be living through. See if you're going to make the same choices again like you did previously. This was way before my dad had passed away. I thought that. Let me know what you think about that. Leave a comment. I would love to hear what you got to say about it.
So once again, if you ain't never lost nobody, if you ain't never lost your parent, you still got your mama and your daddy, you ain't gonna understand where I'm coming from. Don't come over here on my motherfucking page talking about I'm crying online or anything like that. I lost my dad. My dad been passed away now for about 3 years, and he's finally came and visit me. So if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and you want to make fun or pick fun, get the fuck off my page because you don't understand what the fuck I'm going through. So I was in a room, I don't know where the fuck I was at, but I happened around the corner. Somebody called my name. It almost sounded like my mama's name. It almost sounded like my mama's voice. And I was in the kitchen probably washing some dishes or something. I was an adult. I was probably about the same age I'm at now, and I had something in my hand. And around the corner and at the door was my daddy. dressed up like he always is in his glory. He's beautiful. And whatever I had in my hand, I just dropped whatever I had in my hand. I said, Daddy. And my old ass ran up to my dad and I held on to him, and he was saying something. He was laughing as if it was funny. He was just laughing as if it was funny, like it was all a joke.
I thought about this all day. I thought about it all day. I thought about it all day. And I'm going to tell you in just a second in the video as it go on. But in that moment that I ran up to him and I held on to my father, in my 5-year-old form, he just kind of looked down at me. He just kind of like with one arm just kind of put over my back. He just held me. He just hugged me. And he was smiling. Son, it's all just a dream. Son, it's all just a dream. I woke up disoriented, crying, screaming, because I could not figure out what the fuck did that mean? What did he mean? It's all just a dream. It makes you think.
This shit was a joke. And next thing I know, I remember looking up because now I'm small and I'm holding on to one of his legs and I'm looking up at him. And he just smiled. He just smiled. He said, "It's okay, son. It's all a dream. It's just all a dream." Then I fucking woke up.
It was the fact that I know I'm dreaming. I knew I was in a dream. But it felt so real. It's one of those lucid dreams that you feel like you're literally actually someplace else, a different realm. It wasn't just a dream state for me. I felt like I was someplace else. The spirit world, perhaps. And he was laughing. Because he was just like, you're acting out for what? I know my dad. Me and my dad had one of the closest bonds that I feel like any young man should have with his father. I can call that man any time of the night, any time of the day. I can almost guarantee you he's going to pick up the phone. And we're going to talk. And we're going to talk on the phone for hours.
In the bed, soaked in tears, hollering, screaming, not knowing what the fuck just happened. All I know is why the fuck am I back awake and I'm not with my dad no more.
Disoriented. I was upset because I wasn't in that realm wherever he is no more. I was back here in reality, my reality. I was upset. Because how come I couldn't have stayed? Because that's the place that I'm not supposed to be at yet. I just got a glimpse of it. So I was frustrated. And I'm upset. Because again, I had to leave him in this place, at this time, in a place that he's not easily to be reached. Remember I told you I don't dream often. And if I do, it's just some crazy, silly bullshit. I was upset that I had to leave my dad in a realm that I could no longer reach. Not that easily, anyway. I woke up in a bed soaked in tears. Let's continue.
It's beautiful to have a relationship with your parents. So for y'all that still got a parent, still got your parents, it's not too late to build a relationship with your parents, because I had an unbreakable bond with my dad. And it tears me up. It tears me up, y'all. And I know it's life. Everybody go through it. We all got to go through it. But good God Almighty, I done felt pain. I done felt a lot of pain in this life, being 33 years old. In a couple of days, I'll be 34. I done felt a lot of pain, I can endure a lot of pain. I have to go knock on the neighbor's door in a minute and ask them did I disturb them, because I was screaming. He said it's okay, son. It's all a dream. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? I don't fucking get it. He was smiling at me. So apparently, when we leave this life, we wake up. When we leave this life, we wake up. This is the dream. The illusion of reality. That's why they say you are reunited with your loved ones.
I'm going to insert what I think that means. What that means right here. I'm going to insert it right here. After thinking about it all day, nonstop, the mind is the true reality. Reality is death. Not explain. Since the year 2000, whenever I thought of my father, I never thought of him being paralyzed and blind in a wheelchair. I always prayed to God that my dad would be able to see and walk again, but what's in my mind? That wheelchair never existed in my mind. He was always upright, could see. He was my dad. Always will be. Always has been. So for whatever reason, when he was here on this rock, and I thought about my dad, never thought of him being in that wheelchair and couldn't see. I knew that in this reality that he couldn't see and he was in a wheelchair. I knew that. But in my mind, because I prayed so much when I was a child, I want to believe that he'd get up and he could see what's going on around him. That wheelchair just never existed in my mind. That's where my true reality lies. But the reality that I see out of my eyes, this is a reality that is forever decaying, inching closer and closer to death. This reality. So it just hit me. In your mind lies the true reality, while the reality that you look out of your eye gates, that you see, is death. The food is no good. The air is no good. Hell, even the people are no good. Nothing's safe. Nobody's safe. At any given second, it could all be over with in just a second. Maybe even tomorrow. Then your reality has met death. So one thing is for sure, two things for certain. Everybody's going to die. That's the true reality of this life. But what lives on? The mind, the consciousness. That's the true reality.
Sometimes it's a curse and not a blessing to be awake. In my over 45 years of behind-the-scenes invisible intelligence work, I feel compelled to share the following for your consideration. Awakening is the most liberating, alienating, excruciating, empowering, lonely, confusing, freeing, frightening, expansive journey. And if you find yourself struggling trying to process all this insanity, believe me when I say you are not alone. No one talks about the darkness that accompanies awakening, or the grief we go through, not only grieving the life and illusions that you once had, but the realization that almost everything you thought you knew is a lie. The beliefs you've held, people you've trusted, principles you were taught, all lies. Shattering illusions is never an enjoyable experience. There is a considerable amount of discomfort that comes with growth, and the grieving process doesn't stop there. With these newfound realizations, you will find yourself grieving all over again. Grieving the loss of many relationships with people who just don't get it. Feeling alone, being ridiculed and shamed, not only by the masses, but for many of you, your very own family and friends too. Feeling like you no longer have much in common with the people you're surrounded by. Struggling with carrying on bullshit, shallow conversations that lack substance with those who are still fast asleep. Even feeling disconnected from your entire support system because they can't see what you see. Some even grieve the loss of their ignorance because ignorance is bliss and reality is harsh. Awakening can be a lonely road, and you will often find yourself journeying alone. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Awakening to the realities of this world is brutal. It will have you running through the entire gamut of human emotions. You have to master the art of diving down the darkest of rabbit holes only to come out and still function in daily life. And that's a skill People don't talk about enough. Some of you are or will struggle with feeling disconnected from family and friends. It's as though they exist in another world. Please know you are not alone. And not only are you not alone, you have an entire group of like-minded folks standing with you. You may be separate, we may be separated by miles, but we are deeply connected in mind, purpose, and spirit. God loves you, and so do I. Signed, Dave.
When you leave this life, you wake up. That's why you should be able to see the Lord and Savior, everybody who loves you. When you close your eyes that final time, you wake up to the true reality. That's what I've come to believe with this whole experience with seeing my dad for the first time since I put him in the ground. My whole interpretation of that dream, that visit, it's not over just because you've closed your eyes one final time. It's not it. You live on. You wake up. You begin to live. My name is Randy Cotton, and this is the Woke DC. If you like what I've shared with you, please consider hitting the like button and becoming a part of the DC. I'd love to have you. Come on, bro. Join the crew. Join the crew. Be a part of what we got going on here. Because there's going to be more videos like this. Anytime my dad comes to visit me, anytime he comes to visit me, I'm more than likely going to make a video. Because I'm constantly trying to figure out what this is, what's going on around me. And I know the one true answer is God. But what's in between God and us? What is the rest? What is it? Be a part of the crew. Join us. Peace be with you. If you last this whole video, thank you. It means a lot. And a special thank you to the Woke DC 32 subscribers. Like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's your boy Randy C. I'm gonna holler at y'all a little later on. Cheers.